lyrical royalty.
Master.
Clever is who make you again Sktv menyo. Say my journey, Tina get as say my yamo. And you say no money, say mo aye yo. And you love me, mo aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
And I didn't ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I quantity ya to money, and I put to buy ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I quantity ya to money, and I put to buy ya to money, and I forget na ya to money. That's the thing, and I forget na. Cause you work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
There are things we can do. We bringing good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and out part of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to serve. The passion, the time and the efforts are rare. The broadcast we giving are real and I promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from River Sass, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Montserrat, Sano to Backbaloo, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. I didn't get the impression that the Americans were putting gun at anybody's head to sign anything. What the Americans are saying that they have asylum seekers that have been here for years, and they like to, those that have been causing bad device, to send them out of the country elsewhere. They are not forcing anybody, but they want for us to know that this is a concern they have, and they're asking how can we contribute or how can we help. And we have assured them that for the relationship is an equal concern, but it's something that we have to think about. If and when they begin to ask us, we will know how to respond to it. I didn't get the impression that the Americans were putting gun at anybody's head to sign anything. What the Americans are saying that they have asylum seekers that have been here for years, and they like to, those that have been causing bad device, to send them out of the country elsewhere. They are not forcing anybody, but they want for us to know that this is a concern they have, and they're asking how can we contribute or how can we help. And we have assured them that for the relationship is an equal concern, but it's something that we have to think about. If and when they begin to ask us, we will know how to respond to it. I didn't get the impression that.
Well, indeed, folks. That's the voice of our president. We will play that video later on during the course of our broadcast. But again, albeit a pleasant good evening to our people. Those of you who always follow us religiously, yes, those of you who always burning your data, your batteries, and so forth, and making sure that you follow all of our activities. We want to say the pleasant good evening to all of you, our people. Yes, indeed, today is the 10th of, I keep saying this thing, when the month is moving into a Mayfield way, and you got to be very, very careful. In this kind of time, some of you like to credit, yeah, those of you who knows the time, what I mean, right? By this time now, you will credit, you will see yourself and say, get a hope. From now to the 15th, I mean, you have the hope that at least you work, for 15 days according to our labor law. After 15 days now, that means the company or the management or whosoever person owe you, yes, time that you work for. So again, especially when you are into a company now, and they owe you for that month, but it doesn't mean that you can move or you can go after. No, no, no. That means after 15 days now, then you are legit. You are legit, to credit, to take loan, to do anything. But again, folks, good evening. Let's share the show. Those of you who just joining, please let's share the show so that at least we can hit close to almost 400 plus. Then at least we'll be able to go straight into our discussion. But today is Thursday. Yes, today is Thursday, the 10th of July. We're in the 7th month of the year 2025. So I don't know what's your plan? What are some of the resolutions that you've been thinking about? That you've been sending to God for prayers and so forth. Yes, let's move on, people. Yeah, you just listen to the president, though. Uh-huh. But we'll play that video again because we hear a lot of news. Yes, that yes, there's some discussion. Yeah, we ask more, and they will tell us about some deportations of people, according to the president, that live in the U.S. for a very long time, and they've been there for all the kind of time, and some of them don't have home, so they have to deport them, and they're from Africa. Um, so I said, maybe are we going back to the free slave? I don't know, my people. Even though we've been hearing this news when we were kids, that indeed the free slave that was sent to Liberia or to Africa, some of them landed here in Liberia. As to whether it's the same thing is about to happen, we don't know yet. So for me, don't look for talk. Wait for the express to come on. But again, let's move people. Let's share the show, man. Yeah, let's share the show. When you come, just like, comment, and share. That's the best thing to do. When you come on, please, we want you to like, comment, and share. Yes, sir. Oh, man, your body just get popping too much in the one of for Miami. There's Miami of ours. You people want to be giving us stress. That's the thing about some of you. Say Jacobs. Yeah, you moved through Asadu Mensa. Good evening. Are you sure? Robert Fasulu Jacqueline, my brother. Thank you for joining us. And say Jacobs, my brother. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. You don't know. Sometimes gonna be one more until gonna be one more over plus. That's how we look, some of us. Maybe frank. Some of us can be one more, yeah. I like the life of people who are humble. Yeah, yeah. That's the best thing to do. Yes, greetings to you, Sidiwan Jabo. Greeting, my dear brother. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Muna, what's up? Muna is the show. Muna, my come. Muna. Let's share the show. Muna, you please share the show for us. Those of you who just joined, you please share, man. You Muna worry yourself. What are the slaves will come on now? We don't know yet. In fact, they call them the deportee. Okay, so whether they will come on this side or they will go on the other side, because the president make it clear that yeah, no gun to anybody throat or anybody neck. They say yes, you're forced to do this and that and that. So please, some of you have all kinds of news. Just be some people just calling me. Maybe they bringing. I don't know who they bring. I don't know who they bring. Please, I beg you. When I give me that. Yes, sir. Yes, no, don't be yet. When you, madam, I know now. Oh, okay. So I mean, everybody that's sir. No, let me find now. While we sharing the show, that we joking now, In the army, I think everybody that's sir. Those of you who are in the military, I think that's sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I think everybody that's sir. In the military. I'm in the army though, so don't get issue with me. And I'm in the army. Those of you that are in the army, everybody that's sir. So for us, let me go by and say Donald Trump has passed here to visit Africa and the president, but he's certainly left an impression there. Okay. Let's share the show, people. They say, what are they carrying again? They say weapon they carry you. You ever been saying that I just be talking. You don't even know you said the deportee that coming. I don't know whether they'll count this up. And they overlap West Africa. These deportees, they like West Africa. So you be talking. That's the show. I'll either show we 400 first. We'll have so many things to talk about. The protest. Yeah, we saw is that the youth league of the Congress for Democratic Change? Yes, indeed. Today they finally endorsed the July 17 protest that been that will be done by STEM. STEM is one of the civil society organization. So hopefully that will be on the 17th of July. But I think all of the activity will start from the 15th. Yes, from the 15th of July to the 16th up to the 17th. 17th now they will climb house, everything and so on. In America, you say what? The men are sad and the women are what? Madam. Me, I'm not in the army. Yvonne, I'm not in the army, Mama. Thank you for that. Thank you for that brilliant maybe information. So those of you that in the army, you're gonna tell us whether everybody that's sad. But I think everybody that's sad. People, you get problem in the lay, mommy. Everything we do, you get issue. Really, our president, no case. For me, the few days back, in fact, are positive. Let me tell some of you that they must take me. Hey, I support Joseph Boga. That mean the real supporter for the few days. Let me tell some. Oh God, the only thing I'm not support my Digon for is to bring deportee, to send deportee. Yeah, for me, I agree. That one, but I agree. No job. No job. In fact, we don't even get security already. Then you could send deport. What the people feel? Let me see. Okay, good. So let me just bring some of the highlights from what the president away, Minister of Transport people. The country interesting. Liberia is interesting. Interesting country. Where's Steve? What the people? Let me see what the minister here. What do you mean? Okay, Ali is here. Hey, Ali, welcome. Please, let's share the show. People already in 300 plus. Let's go. Josephine Dix, Do. Thank you for joining us. D1 Jabo, my own Oma Bintability. Yeah, look. Yvonne, thank you so much for joining us. Please share the show today. Steve will be here. Steve can inform us as to what are the deportees, how they will come. Who'll be that? Steve Bastos M. Young Jr. Thank you for joining us. Cetex Geeks. Thank you also for joining us. Brazilian Among already here, the team here. No, to don't I swear. Steve will soon be here with us. Mr. Connor will also be here with us. Fumba Sambi Sese, thank you for joining us. And yes, Mona and the rest of you, thanks to all of you for joining us. Please share the show. Yeah, Mark, my brother, good evening. And how the US? Mark, I'm not getting you though. I don't know what
You hear me?
Yes, now we're getting you. Go ahead.
Yeah, what's up? What's up to the listening audience? Another day to be on Sktv. At least I'm here today. I wasn't sure of being here, but finally.
Yeah. What about you gotta be here because the other news that have been trending and the deporting news, all the things that we gotta be here. That one you phone, I'm gonna go for you if you're not here today.
Oh yes. Yeah, I just following all the they want the crew got the Jipotel on Facebook. Everybody got their own twist. How some people say it's an insult, some people talking about somebody being dumb, it can sound so funny when you have Librarian talking about intelligence. According to statistics, you got the second lowest IQ in the world, that's to Nepal. So you cannot put us an intelligence in the same statement. We are not the smartest people in the world. So when I hear them talking about intelligence, they can sound so funny to me. But everybody got their own views and how they interpret information. But that's just why it is. At the end of the day, some of us just waiting for the outcome. I'm not interested in the optics. Photo up. I just want to see. I want to show. I want to see this 40 years of experience wherein we want someone professional, like an adult in the room that can make decisions on behalf of the country. And the clip you just played, the president said it right. I said, yeah, that's the definition of a systematic or foreign policy shift from nobody putting gun to your head. And the Sktv. That's the difference between aid and trade. In aid, you are a beggar. They put you on the pretend that you're getting something, but you're getting nothing. In trade, my man, you got something that I want and I got something that you want.
Let's go 50-50.
It's an agreement. You like it, you take it. If you don't like it, you walk out. And that's exactly what the president said. Apparently, he listened to SKTV or a snippet of the program, but that's just exactly what we discussed. That's why make the trade aspect is better than aid, because you have been receiving aid for more than 100 years and your country looked like a wreck. It was a failed business model. Now you have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to change the trajectory of this country through trade. That's why the president, when you listen to the two of them, I call it the elevator pitch, wherein you put your idea in a quick synopsis, where Joseph Boga and Trump did. He made reference. He talked about India and Pakistan, how they came to the table. He talked about Rwanda and Congo. Nobody is coming to kill your president. We only want to have this mutual agreement wherein we can both benefit from each other by forming an economic pact. That's just what it's all about. But we'll stop there for now. We'll get into the details later. And
yes, my dear brother, thank you so much. At least let me see how best to welcome. Yes, indeed.
Before you take over, something strange. I told you a couple of days ago that from the inception of this deal, right? I quoted some source, and where we said that the embassy and some of the staff over there, including the acting ambassador, right? Some of them were pushing for this deal to happen. And I told you what happened a few days ago, and we got information today that the current U.S. ambassador is tendering his resignation, right?
Be leaving by August.
That resignation, though, is not. Now you tell me, I told you, though, it's bigger than what your eyes can see. So we see what we're still watching. Go ahead, maybe Mr. Reddick.
Thank you, my dear brother. Yes, indeed, we will go into all that and bring you some of the highlights from Liberia. But let me welcome Brother Ali Masare. Ali, good evening and welcome.
Good afternoon, Mayborn, and good afternoon, Mong, and good afternoon to our listening audience and followers. We're glad to be here again this afternoon on the SKTV. How's Mama Liberia? What's the trending issue in the country?
Well, that's good. We are doing great. Thank God for life, even though we have so many truly national issues last evening, which, of course, on our time here, our president, Yes Excellency, President Joseph Yumambwaka was seen on the world stage and making a case for Mama Liberia, and which, of course, that went viral with a lot of reactions, especially when it comes to the praises of the U.S. president. You know, our president about his speaking, his English, and everything. So the entire world, I think the social media been so busy, and even on the formerly of Twitter, that we now call X, if you go there, almost like people compare when it comes to that entire information about President Donald Trump giving praises to our president. So the internet been flooded on that. Liberia have their own mixed reactions and so forth. Then this morning, we woke up again this morning with the news about the Ministry of Transport employees or civil servants, because mind you, they are all civil servants. They were seen this morning protesting on the ground of the Ministry of Transport on what they call government trying to take jobs from them because of the new contract that will be signed between the government and the company they call it's LTM, that is the Liberia Transport Mobile or something. Yes, indeed, just because of that, they've been complaining this morning, and they've been protesting that indeed that company, whenever that company and the Liberian government go into agreement, that means most of our people will be taken from job, especially at the Ministry of Transport. So because of that, they've been seeing the morning protesting. Even some of the highlights, we saw some of our women or mothers in the pool of blood. We don't know exactly what happened, but some of them were accusing the police of police brutality and so forth, allegedly that indeed police hit on them and so forth. But after a few hours, the House Speaker, Richard Nabekum, also visited the place, Ministry of Transport, and were able to calm the situation down, that indeed they're going to see how best to handle all of the problems or all of the happening, the reason why they are protesting for, yes, Liberia Transport Management, yes, indeed. So they're going to find a way on that. So far, so good. These are happening, apart from the Front Page Africa interview not too long I've been trending, that indeed we've been hearing about the news about the U.S. government plan to deport people, but they've been thinking as to which country or, in fact, which one the president that will be willing to accept these deportees. And not too long, I think Front Page Africa did excellently well by having some talk with our president, and our president just stated that indeed be aware of all of these things, and there are no gun pointing at them. They are free to discuss. They are free to decide as to what to do or not. So far so good. But Ali and Mark, I think these are some of the 20 national issues. And apart from that, the planned protest of the civil society group called STEM, headed by Moluba Molu, that's supposed to be on the 17th of July. The protests are now having a lot of endorsements. Not too long, the Youth League of the former ruling party, the CDC, on today they have their own endorsement program of the STEM planned protest come July 17. So that means that Liberians, those of you who are outside of Liberia, you will be expecting protest come July 17, and they said beginning from the 15th up to the 17th, but they have series of activities that will be ongoing up to the 17th, which of course that will be the main day of their protest here in Liberia. So far so good. Yes, these are happening. Back home we have all national news, but I think these are news that are topping the chart. Yeah, so but Aliu, we're back, Mark, and
Yeah. Thank you,
another
there.
news also in passing.
You say?
Yes, go ahead, but Aliu, I'm
Yeah,
asking what
thank you,
another
there.
news? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, there, Mabel. Also, far so good. Like when it comes to, I just hear it because saying yesterday the president they did that thing. Yes, sir. I even following say what they doing in our warehouse today. But when it comes to the deportation of people, I think every country in the world they have their people in America here, and if you think somebody came in America illegally or they get any criminal record, I think send them back to Liberia. Why they should be looking for a specific country to send all deported to? If you get Liberians to be deported, send them to Liberia. If you get people to be deported Senegalese, send them to Senegal. You get people from whatsoever country you send them there instead of looking for a specific country to see where you will send all these people. So for me, like I see Liberia should go to Liberia, Guinea go to Guinea, Senegalese go to Senegal, just like that. And this issue about these people that were protesting this morning, I saw one other lady, she was bleeding with blood all over. President Baka talk about creating job for Liberian youth over and over, but this government, that's why I always say President Baka, his speeches are just contradiction, it's just deceptive. Because you can't talk about creating job and you will be bringing a company in the country, and then the job they are coming to do, they are going to take your people out of job. So how are you creating job? I think you're supposed to be bringing company that will create job instead of bringing company that will take your people out of job. And this is something that has been going on. I think even the RRA, they are going to lay people off. And since the government came to power, they continue taking people from job every area, all of the time, government, ministries, agencies. So that's why when he's talking about they need to create job for the youth, I don't even say listen to this thing because that's another rhetoric. I don't fall for it. And this morning I saw these people. So that is it. You can say they should create job for people and you signing agreement with people that will come and take your people from job. If what they are saying is true. But we have been seeing it over the past time. Every now and then Liberians are being put out of job. And these are things that make the hardship in the country. As I always say, maybe when you're working over there, Musa Benete pay you $5. Like $5 more than 10-15% attached to that $5. So when Musa Benete fire you, that about 10-15% you are fired right there. So if you keep taking people from job, that alone make the hardship to increase in the country. Every day things will be high in the country. Because the one person that was taking care of 15%, he has been taken out of job. So that's just what I have to say on that issue. And this whole thing about President Baka speaking good English And then the Unity Party people, they are running with it. That is another achievement for the government. I see that as achievement because you see, the whole social media, even America, they get some Congress women, they are even say, latching the president, the way in which he addressed the president, the CA are being racist. Everybody get different way of interpreting it. But if we see it to be good for us to celebrate, oh yes, our president spoke good English, it's up to us. But other people don't see it to be something good. And you see President Baka, how dare you sit with another president answering to him, yes sir, yes sir. That's not good. And people talking about that's a tradition and culture. You don't bring tradition and culture to diplomacy. Okay, diplomacy and culture, they are two different things. So that was bad on our president's side. Like I said yesterday, you had no reason telling Donald Trump that Liberia get natural resources. It is an opportunity to go and do a survey. How dare you tell somebody to go and do survey on your natural resources? That's not good. And when you listen to the president of Gabon, the president of Mauritania, the president of Senegal, these people, their presentation was so brilliant. And listen to what Joseph Boakai did over there that we are celebrating. And another thing I saw again to see our president sitting, and then they are telling about his people overstaying visa in America. That alone is another humiliation to our country. But they don't see this thing. They running with English that they say Joseph Boakai can speak good English. Do you think it's good for Liberian to come there and overstay visa? They telling your president that, even though they were telling them generally, but Liberians are in a height. So that's another sign of embarrassment and humiliation to our president. And like Mom said the last time, it came to the $1.8 million deal, that $1 billion that people were just there. But you can see the way in which the deal was even signed. So you can see there were other people that were just behind it, and they know what they were doing at this morning. I saw one of the secretary, deputy secretary, or somebody, they had a one-on-one conversation with President Boakai at Washington yesterday on the C deal. So there are hands that were behind the thing, and they know what they were pushing for, and they are all going to get their cut. So far so good. That all I have to say on this issue. But all in all, we pray for President Boakai to push the agenda of Liberia to go with a successful outcome for this entire business summit that will benefit the country. Because for me, I stand with President Trump to push for America, because anything you do is going to benefit me and my family here as well. Liberia, I will benefit, but those of you that are there, you will benefit more. So we pray for the best that President Boakai will take back to the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Aliu. Steve just joining us, so we want to use the time to welcome Steve. Then maybe they'll go back to Monk. But Steve, my brother, good evening and welcome.
Milmo, you can hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let me put some volume on here. Make sure I'm 100%.
Yeah.
Well, for the next few days, the show will be tremendously hot. Big yeah, we'll dismantle, disassemble some of the disinformation that you guys are passing around with. So, folks, tie your belt. We'll also give you inside scoops on what's going on behind the scene. Don't let us fully think that you see Joseph Boakai doing fool you. That's a little scam. Forget about that whole Liberia. We kind of trade. Donald Trump call for trade. Donald Trump not call you for trade. That's scam. We'll tell you what's going on. Don't get confused. And we say, hey, and let's see if it happens. Don't jack, my people. They show. Let me say this: for the next few days, I don't miss the show. The show will be damn hot. The show will be a heartless spark plug. You think we can sit down here and we allow you to pass around with foolishness that some of us will rub red on our lip, and we sit down, we say what they lead our story. We'll tell you what time it is. First of all, Jenna gave you a teaser. Do you know that Joseph Boakai already went to China? And the Chinese people already came and they see and said, oh, they popping a hell of a crook. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Then we'll talk about what Donald Trump proposal is to them, what Donald Trump is telling them. There's something Donald Trump is telling them. It has nothing to do with mineral. You lead that story. You lead that mineral story. Don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. That was a talking point Joseph Boakai carried over there. talking about meanwhile, I'll make it Donald Trump look at him for long, say the other one, you know, see where I will use you on English level. But folks, we're getting a conversation. We're talking about that English speaking thing that scam. That whole English speaking thing that scam. Donald Trump not ready. Let me tell you this. Donald Trump got no interest in mineral business in Liberia. Let me tell you today. Donald Trump got no interest in mineral business in Liberia. Donald Trump got one big interest. And that big interest is what we're going to look into. And Front Page Africa will play it. Melbourne, a few days ago, and I told you the scoop. I said I was talking on the show. And you said that thing when you said that thing will bring noise.
Yes, indeed.
We're talking. I told you my account is doing bad. We're talking there. The show will be hot. You only Joseph Baga, Joseph Baga can speak English. Somebody from Wasanga can speak English. You're not speaking English. Joseph Baga was talking the regular thing. We're talking all. Did that thing. The same thing Joseph Baga is being no book. The only reason that Donald Trump was throwing jobs at those French-speaking guys that were sitting over there. Almost all the other presidents that went with Joseph Baga, all the only French they can speak.
Yeah.
Don't leave that story. Unity Party Post Hotel wedding. What you want to tell me? No, but let's hear from Mom because we're ready to get into the show. I'm ready to get social issue. Me, I'm ready for anything. Don't miss the show, folks. Share the show. Don't miss the show.
Well, I don't think for me, I don't think that I have any social issue or maybe social things. But what is that? No, I don't think nothing much. Maybe tomorrow then we'll chip in with social issue because we already go have the mark. So I feel more. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I ain't got nothing on social issue concerning the same topic about deal making and the English that took over the social media. And senior man, Mr. Manlo, because we talked about this stuff yesterday on the show about the so-called details and what you bring into the table in terms of negotiation, where it's either the president is patient, while Liberia tends to benefit, because for me, most of the information concerning this stuff, I will take it from on this side. I'm not looking at the Facebook. I'm not looking at the photo ops happening in the White House. I'm just looking at the policy here and people that are pushing this policy about having access to port between America and China. There was an image that I sent to you yesterday, this morning, Melbourne, and I want you to pull it on the screen. And whether it was a Ted Cruz or the Marco Rubio or the Bob Lighthizer, the expert on China and their global influence, I just want you to put on the screen like a map where you will see the US and China from 2000 to 2024, how it almost like the Chinese was a sleeping giant that were awakened, and they are about to extend their footprint around the world. And the US believe that they are being left behind. And that's why there will be another African summit in December that most other leaders will be attending rather than the first 5 that's visiting. And there is a lot more to come, Melbourne. I want you to expand that map. Zoom it in a little bit. No, just zoom it. I don't know. You got to download it. If you can download it, at least people can see a little bit of it. If you can, maybe it's off the screen. Or are you trying to?
Yes, I want 14 to make it much better.
But I put it back the way it is. I mean, you can zoom it, at least people can see it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And that was the point, like I told you what Marco Rubio said. Marco Rubio said when America said at the end of the day, when you are going to read a book about the 21st century, it will be like America themselves was the one that destroyed their own empire. When you see that picture, I told you there are only 4 major players in the world that control the whole world. And every major event that happened around the world, it's either America, the European Union, China, and Russia. The map at the top is talking about your global footprint when it comes to trade. Look at where China was in the year 2000. And the one at the bottom, this is where China stands in terms of their global influence from Latin America. They literally control half of Africa now and the entire Asia. Matter of fact, they are thinking about linking Asia in Europe by the road they call the belt, they call it the Belt and Silk Road, that the Chinese are doing. The Chinese want to get a global influence, and that's one of the major reasons we have this deal happening in Liberia and that of China with the Liberty Corridor when it comes to iron ore. And I think you heard the president talking about the deal between Rwanda and Congo that they already own 80% of the iron ore mine in Rwanda, I mean in how they call the country, in the Congo. And there are only 3 countries in the entire Africa with the most iron ore: Liberia, Guinea, and Congo. So if the Chinese control 80% in Congo already, and they got a deal in Guinea to build a port and a railway, then it means the American government won't sit there to give Liberia out, including that of a port. So we'll see how it goes. But Julius Jet raised something very, very interesting about the president, that he's claimed that the Chinese have already did a survey in terms of reappraising our resources. So how can you come to a Trump warehouse and talk about we want to and appraise our resources? Because look, let me stop there for them, guys. I get this call. Y'all can
and I would tell you from where more level. Yeah, to tell you that Joseph Boaga, that bunch of criminals, they're not serious. You know, anybody who pass around and praise this foolishness, we've told you guys before that these people are liars. They have no good intent. They got criminal minds. They went to China. And we told them before we warned them. You remember when Eugene Fagon and all the other useless people that got no morals and nothing, we told them that stay consistent. Part of the reasons why the real government struggle was because when you have an ally, in fact, Melbourne, I don't want to take us back, but historically speaking, the US has been our greatest ally ever. There is no Liberian that will tell you that the US has invested in Liberia enough. But guess what the problem is? The problem is not with the US. The problem is with our leaders that we have elected. They've chosen to steal the monies that were allocated to us. That is the difference. And that's where I differ with, I know, Pele or whoever that woman is that spoke last year on the July 26th program. Because she didn't say the facts. She blamed the US that they are exploiting us. On the contrary, the US is not exploiting us. When you go into any negotiation, Melbourne, you will seek your benefit and your interests. That's what negotiations are for. That's why people go to the table to have negotiations and talk. People don't go to the table to talk on your behalf or to talk for you to benefit from them. So the US will come. If you're selling something for $100, the US will ask you to pay $75 or $80. That business, that negotiations. That's how it works. If they give you the $75, that's not the business what you do it. Eh? So if the US comes and sees that Liberia has something that they want to buy from them, they go to business agreement, and our leaders say, listen, we'll sell it for $50 and the original price is $100. The US will pay the $50 in the interest. They could care less. But for our people, our leaders to take the money that were given to them, they wouldn't take it for us. They would take it, enrich themselves, come and suffer you again. They ride big car, AC car while you're walking, and then you turn around, you go and clap for them. We'll say it, then you'll get vessel. This is what's been happening. And now America fought that Liberia is poor. That Liberia fought because we elected criminals, rogues, and thieves to lead the country. People with no business mind, people with no proven record of seriousness in their own lives, people with no proven records of when you get in public office for them to do what is right. Joseph Boaga has no record of doing anything right in public office. Tell me what Joseph Boaga did. Give me your record when you were vice president. Give me your record when you were minister of agriculture. Where Doe had to fire him. Give me your records. Give me your records. Nothing. Zero. So we are saying these things because we've come back to this thing again. Where in the when you saw them going to China, Eugene Fagon, all of them were in China, even Delon was talking a bunch of foolishness. You remember that time? They went there and they won't play the Chinese people. You know, I was listening to the show yesterday. I went back over it last night. I was listening to the show, and Monk said something that was very, very important. That Liberia is playing a game with two powerful nations, China and America. Let me say this. It is critically important that you make your position known. There's public record of the government already doing an assessment with China. There are public records. You think why Jeremiah went China the other day, he was passing around with yellow machine. You think why Jeremiah went there? These people are playing around. They're playing themselves. Joseph Boaga is playing around and playing himself. That foolishness when you're doing Labra, he lied to you. This will haunt him. The foolish game that he's playing, it will hurt him. Look, this is serious, eh? Look, Melbourne, this is serious to the point where let me say this to the Liberian people. You know, you don't understand history, and you don't make sense of history. You don't understand history, and you don't make sense of history. You don't. When Talbot took over, Talbot decided that time to shift Liberia's foreign policy to the Soviet Union and other places. You know what get job we had, huh? You know what get job we had, huh? They were the Liberian people. When Joe we had to over him carried that same friskiness, I don't know who advising that Emmanuel Shorten. That Emmanuel Shorten were advising him. Joe we had decided to take the Liberian foreign policy and carry it to Europe and China that time. Remember when you carry away for him to go get Chinese, whatever it is, took it from the US and carried it. The US said, okay, that's fine. We've made the biggest investment in this country. You think Chinese people in your interest? You really think Chinese people in your interest? You really think Chinese people in your interest? Doe King, go listen to Doe's very first statement he made after the coup, when they interviewed him. They asked him about the foreign policy of Liberia. Out of ignorance, you know what he said? He said, we'll continue the same foreign policy. Go listen to it. You know, these tips, we don't only listen to them, we also read the transcripts for a record, so that when we're speaking some of these things, we might not have been alive, we might not have been present, it might not have been our times, but the truth about it is these historical facts, they are still there. We can go back to them. Just yesterday, I was listening to some confessions. I didn't even know that Emmanuel Shaw were part of the men or the guys, allegedly, that Doe appointed after Doe fraudulently took the election from Justin Fiado at the time. I didn't even know Emmanuel Shaw were part of the guys that they call. I think the 50 men that they call. Emmanuel Shaw were part of them to count the ballot. Yes, his name was mentioned. His name is part of the record. So you bring all the recycled people, you do the same thing, you play the same little games, you think you can play your people and you play other people out of the country, and you think you will go out of it. Go ask Samuel Tue. Samuel Tue try to play HPX. Samuel Tue then try to play SPS. We warn them. We warn George Weah. When y'all want to listen, one thing I love about America, they're clear about things. If you don't want to do business with them, just be clear. So you don't want to do business with them and walk away. Everybody fine. Don't put it on the impression that you bring them around, but you own different things. That foolishness can work in Liberia and with Liberians. It does not work with serious-minded people because they will not let you slide. They will not let you slide. Though did the same thing. He came from America. After he collected small cash from Ronald Reagan, he want a fresh came out of Liberia. Talking about him and collect money and he pay America debt back. And you heard that foolishness that they used to be talking? Joseph Boaga on that same foolish rule. He behaving very inconsistent and shaky. People who are serious do not like those kind of things. Yep. They like you to be clear with their own business. Serious-minded people don't roll like that. You don't play people. In the country, when you play people like that, you get killed for it. Let me say it to you. Yes, you do. You get hurt for it. They go after you for it. You don't play people. Joseph Boaga finished meeting with the Chinese people. They did a survey. Why you want Donald Trump in America to do what other survey again? What's going on? What's really going on? So I mean, Mark, I think your back is up to you, but this is the quagmire, we're faced with. Mark,
Well,
are you there?
I mean, I think you said it all, and that's what we talked about yesterday. I think that was the reason of Senior Man or Mr. Maulo sending that particular FSEP and that particular, because even in the President's State of the Union, he's mentioned that. And I don't know in a war where you come to a negotiating table, because the only thing about negotiation is a position of strength and leverage. Let me
read it. Let me read that excerpt real quick. Let me just read it for you. Folks, listen to this. This is honor minds and energy. This is what the president said. Quote, Honorable Speaker and distinguished member of the 55th Legislature, I am pleased to report to you that we have received a mineral resource survey report from the government of the People's Republic of China. The report provides new insights in Liberia's mineral resource potential and represents the most comprehensive scientific, it represents the most comprehensive scientific investigation conducted in over 5 decades. Listen to this. We extend our gratitude to the People's Republic of China for the funding for funding this important project. The Ministry of Mines and Energy has already analyzed the data from the survey, and the results indicate a significant shift away from the country's previous sole focus on iron ore, diamonds, and gold. We discovered lithium, neodymium, silver, nickel, zinc, uranium, chlorinium, lead, tin, cobalt, niobium, titanium, magnesium, copper, and others. So what he want for America to come and do now? Monk, I mean, I'm trying to understand. If you say this is the most scientific, comprehensive one, China is a huge competitor to America. The people already did the work. Okay, why are you asking Donald Trump or America to come do too? What is going on? You want to put the two here together?
And that's why I say he's playing with two global titans, because at the end of the day, from my own observation, like this president, I really don't know his game plan, because one thing that I know, from you talking about a 50-year comprehensive study that was being done, one of the most comprehensive or reassessment or appraisal of all your, I think some of the rare F element that is named in a particular segment of a state of the nation address, I think Liberia got more research than even Congo.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. So it means that you are in a better position to make the country richer and more prosperous. Why are you coming to America? And the second thing that caught my imagination, about the whole deception thing. That's why I say I don't know how people got caught up in the whole English thing, because it was not even the meeting. It was never close to the whole idea about this meeting. The second thing was, Steve, thinking about this, you come to the negotiating table, you are playing with two major powers that are fighting for global dominance in every area on the planet, whether it's in Africa, whether it's in Europe, whether it's in Latin America. Okay, you claim that one of them did a comprehensive survey and you want to do business with them, right? Because I know a country that's really serious to do business, they will hire a third-party entity to come and do the appraisal or the assessment, right? If the Chinese want to do business, I mean, why should they be the one conducting a comprehensive study about my own resources? Then I cannot be in a position of strength to negotiate, because it means they will be setting the price. They will be determining the terms and conditions, because they are the one that know the numbers. And he said, our government themselves analyzed the data that were compiled by the Chinese. So if you get all these things, you believe that you are richer than Congo, you got copper, you got manganese, you got tin, you got cobalt. Because I know they want to, I think he got coltan there too, because I want to use the cell phone and all those stuff. If you have all those resources, why are you in the warehouse? Then you might as well go to the Chinese and strike a better deal, maybe ask for more money, because you are in the position of strength. But like I said, this old man, their deception can only go as far. You are messing with a Trump. Look, I don't know what Joseph Burger and his crew thinking about, because the thing between America, like I said, that map that I told me to show you, it's a global fight, and it's happening all around the globe, even in Congo and Rwanda. That's why the king.
But Monk, here's what's interesting. Based on what you just said, here's the most important part about it, or interesting. Why did Joseph Boakai not present this data or read from the data they collected? Why he had to ask America to come out and do another one?
Because you want to play a double game. Joseph Boakai is playing a double game.
If you claim you want to come to the table with a leverage or with power or strength or whatever negotiation skills you want to come up with, then instead of wasting your time asking America to come do another survey, present the findings you already have. And you presented the same finding to the house, you presented it
to the whole nation, not only the house, the entire nation.
And the entire world at large, because it's on record.
Yep.
So if you presented these findings, I would have thought that's what they would have. I would have thought that's what they would have done from a strategic standpoint. And that's why I would have thought that they would bring it there and say, we got findings. For example, we got this, we got that. This is what we discovered most recently. So our conversation. So we're inviting you guys to come and check it out. Simple. But you.
But Steve, here's my interpretation. But that's why I raised that point yesterday, and I think even the subsequent days about the whole trip and the implication behind this trip, and including the current U.S. ambassador, and the whole thing from the global standpoint, right? My thing here is, I know countries, when you're ready to do an appraisal of your resources, you don't go to people you want to do business with. You go to a third party. Like in Ghana, they get a jubilee fee in Ghana. Ghana have never been in oil exploration. Ghana just discovered oil in 2007. So what Ghana did, they went to at least 3 different third-party entities to come and do the offshore exploration to get an estimate as to how many barrels they think will come from those oil wells and how much it will cost. Then you take that data and go to the people who you want to do business with. That's how it's supposed to work. But if you want to do business with America and China, and you claim that the Chinese had done 50 years of some comprehensive survey that you yourself analyze, why are you coming to Trump to tell him to go and do a reassessment? Because here's the thing, here's the game I believe the old man is playing. They want to play ball with China, they want to dish America, but they don't want to say it outright. They think that they can do it in a professional way and say, you know what, it was an issue of choice. And you know, we weigh our option, the Chinese.
But Mom,
yes.
Let me before we go to the let it be digesting the other information before we go to the land. Let me tell you something. President Donald Trump and his government are not interested in doing so-called business with Liberia. They already know that you went to China to do 1 or 2 things. President Donald Trump is asking Joseph Yuma Boaka and the other men that came, the young men that were there, all of them are drunk. President Donald Trump is asking them to take deportees. Y'all listen to him. They won't recolor that Liberia. So let me tell you, tomorrow we'll play I sent you the video of that 13 men, Melbourne. I want for us to play that video. The people that they killed on the pole. I want for us to play again. You know, sometimes it's very important for you to take your own time to listen to things, to watch things more than once, especially if there are historical evidences. I want for us to take our own time tomorrow. We'll listen to it tomorrow, folks. Let me say this. Donald Trump is not interested in investing money. When you get to over Donald Trump, you think Donald Trump get time for chicken level? Donald Trump will use that 10% tariff to leverage Liberia to accept deportee. Go ask, I know, Venezuela, whatever country they're sending people there from prison. Don't listen. You are messing with a businessman. You think Donald Trump really wanted to do business with Liberia? He will call you in an open forum and start talking about English and they were in that one. You think you might not like Donald Trump, but Donald Trump is not a fool on the business stage. Donald Trump is not a fool on the business stage. Don't check. They bring people. Donald Trump will use our brother as a junkyard or shit the whole country to send deportees. Don't mess around. Do not mess around. If you think that you've been fasting and praying, you've been praying away in vain. God said ain't worry about you. Donald Trump got a total different agenda. You hear the news. You'll be passing around, you'll be checking. Monk, Donald Trump, I get time for that crap you're on.
So can we play the video of the interview of the president on today pertaining to that?
Play the video, my brother.
Oh, yes.
But I told you that 3 days ago, I said that negotiation is going on. They want dumb deportees. They can be recall now. You're already hungry. They drop couple of whatever get cash. You're done.
The American were put. I didn't get the impression that the American were gone at anybody's head to sign anything. What the Americans are saying that they have asylum seekers that have been here for years, and they like to, those that have been causing pride device to send them out of the country elsewhere. They are not forcing anybody, but they want for us to know that this is a concern they have, and they're asking how can we contribute or how can we help. And we have assured them that for the relationship is an equal concern, but it's something that we have to think about. If and when they begin to ask us, we will know how to respond to it.
For the president more.
So that means, Steve, more quickly, so that means the president just make everything clear that these are concerns and these are reasons for why maybe that they were invited or maybe that they were called upon. Because
that's why they tell them to go there. Simple. Yes. Stop speaking people book. That's why they tell them to come for.
Well, for me, I got a whole different take on that because it's a security and economic pact. That's an option. It's negotiation, not only deportee, but asylum seekers, because there are countries that made millions of dollars, including Ghana, when you file for political asylum, they use third-party countries as people who can host you temporarily. Rwanda just got $300 million from the British government that people who are applying for asylum to go to London also can transition in Rwanda. So it's a choice, it's a package.
No, but Mong, let me hold you there. Let me hold you there. You know, I don't normally interrupt you, but let me hold you there. Let's listen to what President Bouaka said.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with asylum seekers, you're saying. Listen to it one more time. y'all kick rocks in that country. That rocks y'all be kicking. Like Joe Ball.
Anybody's head to sign anything. What the Americans are saying that they have asylum seekers that have been here for years, and they like to, those that have been causing problems, to send them out of the country elsewhere. They are not forcing anybody, but they want for us to know that this is a concern they have, and they're asking how can we contribute or how can we help. And we have assured them that for the relationship is an equal concern, but it's something that we have to think about. If and when they begin to ask us, we will know how to respond to it.
You heard it right.
Go back.
Yeah.
Did he say asylum seeker who? And those who cause him trouble, right? Did I hear it right?
Yeah, exactly.
No, he did.
Exactly what he said. But let's go back.
He didn't just say asylum seeker. He said asylum seeker first. That have been here for years.
He said people are causing trouble.
People are causing trouble. He said it too. So, Monk, here's the thing. To be look, we are basically, Trump is saying we want for us to be drunk here. Leave that economic thing. Leave that story, brother. Leave that story, man. We struggle with over they talking about economic thing. We suffer our own people. We can take care of them. Leave that thing, man.
But that's why the president is saying it's an option. Nobody is forcing you. Like El Salvador just signed a contract to take people who countries are refusing to take them for deportation. It's an option. They got asylum seeker. Rwanda taking them. Ghana is taking them. Ghana took them by more than any other African country. NMP one. What? You say what?
Yeah, go ahead. Because I want to ask you this question.
What I'm saying is optional. Whether it's deporting you, whether it's asylum seekers, or there are countries that are taking that deal. Just recently, Margot Rubio went to El Salvador. El Salvador took almost $120 million from America just to host deportees that their own country refused to hold them. That was a deal. They took it.
So let me ask you the question now. Yes. Because it's a good point you're making. Yeah. First thing, let's clear something off the table. Now. We already know why the American called Trump. They never called why Trump called Joseph Bouaka. They never called Joseph Bouaka to do any kind of INO or mineral deal. So far, so good from what we heard from Joseph Bouaka himself. Would you agree with me on that? Unless something else changes, would you agree with me on that?
Why he never called Bouaka for INO deal? Because the INO deal, as far as I'm concerned, is the biggest story of the entire meeting. Because the deal already been passed. The US government and the embassy in Liberia confirmed it. So it's the crux. But there are other moving parts to this whole deal. That's why it's an economic and security forum. It's not only about mineral deal. That option.
Let me take it one at a time now. Let me take it one at a time. Because we jumping all over, and we should keep it in context so we don't confuse the people. Here's my direct question to you. So far, even the deal that was consummated in Liberia or that was signed in Liberia was not even talked about. So far, from what Joseph Bouaka reporting, what the Americans are saying is about the deportees to be able to host them. That's what we know so far, right?
Yeah, I don't have confirmation on that because most.
But you just heard it. You just heard it say you don't have confirmation. So you saying Joseph Bouaka lie? You want to say the man lie?
But Joseph Bouaka did his own introduction. You saw yesterday on live camera. So
Melbourne man. Come bring the news, man. All listen to the new bar. You can't just leave all that, man. What kind of man just show him, man? Because the conversation I won't be having on the radio. You can't just leave all that. If you go into the news,
I think it's the news break. I think that's what they did yesterday. I don't know, for some reason.
Yeah, let the man let us know. You can't just leave, man. Because we want to listen to the news too. And we don't want to be having these conversations. These are critical national, amongst the national security. This thing has a huge national security impact. Because once those people come to your country now, you're responsible for them. They are under your jurisdiction. It's like I'm taking my thing, I dominate. So we'll have the conversation in context, bro. Don't be leaving. So we're not proceed with the conversation because we don't want to be off the radio having the conversation. You know, not no disrespect to our people who follow off there, but yeah, my man, on another level, let's discuss something different till we get back to the show. You know,
we'll talk about that one on the radio. I think it's it's to be on the radio so our people back there can get it.
Yeah, but maybe not strategic, man. One listen to radio, you can rare say you're something after the news. Then so put all that listen to the news too.
Yeah. Or we can just take a break.
Yeah, what wrong with Melbourne, man? You know what I'm saying? Something, man. We'll deal with it.
Melbourne said whenever he do it like that for us to come by and say he can face some problem, that's why he just decide to be leaving us on and then he go and come back.
Yeah, then you give him the head of time. I'll be back. But you just be, just say your own country did not bring deportation running behind you. What's going on?
For me, the whole thing, that's what I said. Joseph Baka think he can play game. You can play game with America. That whole something like HPA, they were talking about $5 billion. He signed it over there, 1.8 billion. Be careful what you do. You can't play game with America or else the country will feel the consequences. You don't try it. So you should be very careful how he's signing his deal for 5 billion to 1.8. Be very careful. You can't why we that information you were just reading or Steve. How can you cause China to come and already carry out survey and then you call it America to come and carry out survey? So what are you trying to do? America will do survey, China do survey, then you decide who to do business with. Why if America do the survey, they get interest and China get interest? So what are you going to do? This government, they have to be very careful how they play their games, or else we know what happened to the previous administration, more sanction to come forth for them. Because you cannot play with America. You should know how you play your game. That's a warning to them. And it makes no sense. You want to tell me Liberia don't have the resources to bring experts to come and do their own survey, that they will be going to countries to come and do survey? These are some of the things, the dependency syndrome that we get on. Everything we want to depend on people to come and do it for us. And this I think President Trump is trying to cut up. No more free money. Okay. You gave
and that's the logic. That's the part I don't understand. That's the part I don't understand when it comes to the logic. It's almost like you run a restaurant, you take your resources, and you prepare this nice meal, and Steve walk into a restaurant and say he wants to eat, and he says, Steve, can't eat the food. When you finish eating, tell me if the food's sweet and how much you are willing to pay for it. It makes no business sense. If you are going to target America or the US to come and you say you want to sign an economic pact, how can you tell them to do the assessment or the appraisal of your state resources? It makes no sense. You can only tell a third party to do that. Then when you know how much you are working with, the real wealth, then you can come and tell them, say, you know what, on the negotiating table, there's the proof, there's the evidence I got by a professional firm that did the assessment, and there's how my resources work, and there's how much I'm willing to offer you. That's why it's about choice. You see that? There are risks to reward to everything. That's why they got in Burkina Faso now. Traore. He looked at the French, even though they got long term. I talked about it yesterday. They got their historical ties, their historical friendship, that diplomatic friendship. But he looked at it, he said, if the Russians are going to offer me a better deal economically, and if I can get more bang for my buck, I would say, you know what, screw the French. Even though they are my traditional ally, they are the one that will gain our independence from. But you know what? Time is over. It's the new sheriff in town. So he understands the risk aspect. But in the case of President Joseph Baka, he doesn't want to be emphatic as to where he stands. He wants to pretend like it's an option when you know you already finished picking side. That's my fear. And people are talking about the English and about a presentation skill. For me, I could care less because I know English. We are all learning English every day. Because one thing I know, the British were the one that invented the English language. And Ghana is a British colony. I know when it comes to presentation and skills and having command over the Queen language is something that is an inborn tendency for some people. Some people can train over time to speak better. Because Professor Arthur Mills, he's a professor. But when he speaks English, you can't tell different whether he's speaking Twi or Gan from English. But when you listen to Nana Akufo-Addo, like some British parliamentarian, you won't even believe that he's an African, that they can put a camera on him and see a black man standing because he got that oratory skill. Not everybody was blessed with that. President Baka, you did good on that. Okay, kudos to you. The problem is when it comes to the details and the essence of the trip, this is where I got problem with. Why do you stand in terms of playing to do both power and what you intend to get at the end of the deal? That's what I'm interested in. I could care less about how many days you stay in Washington, how many options you are giving. At the end of the day, we're just looking at the return on investment and the game you are playing here, because I know when two major powers are playing, you don't want to be a smaller country interfering, putting yourself in the middle. That's my fear about this particular deal that is being discussed in Washington. That's where I stand, guys. Let me take a break.
Well, I think your fear is valid, is legitimate, and this is where the biggest concern is, and this is where SKTV has had problem with this administration. They lie a lot, they play games a lot, and they think they are smart. That is the problem. They're not transparent, they're not accountable, and so everything they do has to be scrutinized more than once. It has to be verified because they're not trustworthy, starting from the man who is leading this particular group of people, Jose Yuma Bwaka. He is a known local and international liar. These are facts. It has nothing to do with disrespect. This is not a disrespect to the president. President Jose Yuma Bwaka is the president, but when the president lies, we'll say he lied. We ain't got no other way to say it. Somebody won't come and say, oh, he didn't say the truth, he misspoke, and he was politically incorrect. That's fine. That's how you choose to say it. On here, I choose to say the president lie if he lies. You got to respect my own view too. I just I'll respect your view. If you want to come say he was incorrect and he's misspoke, that's fine. I'll respect that. You can categorize it that way. I have rights to categorize it the other way. So this whole thing about, playing games, 1 minute you with China, 1 minute you with America, 1 minute you with China, 1 minute you with America. This is a dangerous game. And guess what? You will be the victim. Whether you like it or not, you will be the victim. Because at the end of the day, the both countries could come around. And the last time I checked, when they asked Trump about China and Xi Jinping, he was clear. He said he has a good relationship with China and they're in talks. So he's not going to make comments. So far, so good. They seem like they're on good terms while they're talking about the tariff. These two countries can come and say, what I mean? That petty country that won't misbehave, they're acting some kind of way. Okay, good. Send a president, that gaming president, he won't play game. Then let's see what can happen. Let's see what's going on. And shockingly, Monk, which we'll talk about too tomorrow, the U.S. ambassador, Mark Turner, I think I was reading something about him resign, putting a resignation.
Yep.
It's concerning.
Yep.
After you sign a deal, but he is citing personal issues. That's why he's resigning. We'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow as well. Something is not adding up here. He's one of the shortest serving, he one of the shortest serving ambassadors.
U.S. ambassador, I think less than a year, if I'm mistaken.
Yes, it's very, very concerning. So what's really going on?
And there was a report that he was one of those that were pushing this government to sign the deal, who were imposing his will by putting it under duress. So apparently, my thing here is because I talked about this yesterday, and I know there are other bigger players involved in terms of their interest because they had the business deal work. That's just how it is. Don't think that the people here, they are all sane. No, they got their business interest. They're in government. I understand how the game is played. You understand how the game is played. At the end of the day, maybe he believed that there will be some tweak to this particular deal that was signed because he know that two different administrations with two different agendas. So the question is, why were Joseph Bwaka being in Washington within less than 48 hours? The U.S. ambassador is resigning. Not retiring, but resignation.
Yeah.
Y'all hang tight. More will come. Y'all please hang tight a little bit. Don't rush with this thing.
This thing, Mark, the problem there, the way we are, sometimes when we say these things, people get very with us. But like just as you said, it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. What's the urgency? Is that in family emergency here that he can't take care of or whatever it is? So I mean, it is what it is. Somebody say he retiring, he not resigning.
That man looking at someone that have been retiring age. That man not even.
They see why you were clapping yesterday that Joseph Bwaka spoke good English. When they think what Joseph Bwaka said yesterday, even my daughter, my baby daughter can say, my baby son can say, my children who not born yet too can say the same thing. Joseph Bwaka didn't speak book yesterday. He just spoke English, simple English. That's it. He never spoke any kind of big book or anything like that. So for people to start clapping for you or whatever, you just made Joseph Bwaka look funny. So you're waiting for Donald Trump. It's Donald Trump, and I said he spoke good English. So all the English Joseph Bwaka was speaking in his entire life when he was in government, and that English he was speaking that French he used to speak.
But my brother, all the English man that said this spoke, where did they take Liberia to?
People
At the end of the day, Joseph Boakai said they squander all the opportunity they had. These people, they are not serious. If that is another achievement for them, it's up to them. Let them go and celebrate the speaking English of Joseph Boakai. You see, that's what I said from the beginning. Joseph Boakai coming to meet President Trump is not time of celebration. Your wait. Let him come, and why you will take back to the country is why you people should celebrate.
My man, the man said the only thing taking back at deportees.
And that deportees issue, but when we come on the radio, because this is something that is alarming.
Hey, you
can't Zobo said that you cannot control.
We'll take deportees. We'll take them. Me, I'm the president. I move on to take it.
But yeah, the funny thing, Steve. Yeah, is the irony about the president of State of the Nation address, right? Your State of the Nation address is supposed to go worldwide. You got US president that will go attend the ceremony.
Yeah.
If you already playing balls with China, why would you come here and even create the illusion that you're trying to get involved? That's not just our rumors. No, you're self-confirming. In the State of the Nation, you send a copy to the lawmakers, to the chambers, right? So it's something that is consummated, that is something that is part, that is a deal. So you are just literally telling Trump is I came here to play fool out of you, and that will not slide because you already confirmed in the past that this deal is a done deal. You already linked with Chinese. You think that the Chinese are giving you more options and giving you more incentive. So just pick a side, but he's not strong enough to pick a side. He doesn't want to do that. That's all I can take from it because other leaders just recently, the American get a Ghanaian an offer to build a military base in Ghana. Ghana said, you know what? We prefer the economic aspect. We don't want a military U.S. military installation in Ghana. They refuse it. Nobody killed them for it. Just be bold and emphatic about what you say. It's simple.
Stop making people or putting on the impression. You know this. You know, and you see. Let me tell you something. I was listening to this guy from Kenya, Professor Lumumba or whatever his name is, Patrick not Patrick Lumumba. Lumumba or something. He can go to Liberia. You know, he's an orator. He speaks. He like integrity thing and stuff like that. I was listening to him. Akim led on closing argument, and I was listening to him, and he said something that I think that was important when they asked him what would be his recommendation for Liberia. And he said we should stand up, and that's all I'm saying to the Liberian people. Grow some balls, stand up. But Monk, talking about something different. You see, there's why some don't let them engage with these so-called group then are making announcements for protests and things and like that. Do you know that they Moluba Moluden group met with the same council of churches a few days ago? Moluba Moluden met with council of churches. They said the plan is protest on the 17th next week. They met with council of churches the same week. Sometime this week, they met with the council of churches. The same council of churches that Costa they met with. I saw that protest to be serious. The protest is not serious, so useless protest. I thought you were a serious-minded group of people. You guys are not serious-minded group of people. You are not serious-minded group of people. You meet with a useless group of organization, and you want me to take you seriously? That protest is there upon arrival. It's a useless protest. Some are always encouraging political leaders and political actors to put a hand behind it. I'm saying it today. I repeat what I said. Don't put a hand behind a useless venture.
Me, I took my side a long time ago.
You're not serious in that country. You're not ready for anything serious yet. You guys are not ready for anything serious. You're okay.
Sometimes the old man, he can get me confused as to where he's staying on issue. And not only the whole thing, it's just part of his DNA when it comes to his leadership ability. You know, sometimes leaders, they apply logic in situation, but there are certain times logic doesn't apply. You got to use your instinct because you will try 10 different options and you'll not be able to get a result. So at the end of the day, sometimes leaders use their guts and you know what your heart really telling you. And the whole thing about leadership is not to be right all the time. You just need to make critical decisions when the time comes. And there are times leader will be wrong. And this president, like I said, I think we on this platform, I think we have given more suggestions and I think we play more quarterback for Joseph Boakai than anybody else. Because at least some of the suggestions we make here, I think it's in his best interest. But the whole thing about politics where people say, oh, the Sktv panelists, they are anti-Joseph Boakai. I don't think so because typical example of what happened in the White House, right? You look at a man who tell you, say, I'm shifting U.S. policy from A to trade. meaning I'm giving you an option. Because one thing I know in U.S. foreign policy for the past 30 years, when they want something and they can get a call for something called regime change. Regime change means we are coming to remove a leader.
Yep.
You saw it with Libya. You saw it with other countries. So if Donald Trump gave you an opportunity to say, you know what, this time around we're shifting that particular regime change to option by engaging into trade, and you can choose to opt out of that particular deal, why would you want to play a game with a man who will not hold you accountable, even if you say, I don't want to play balls with you?
Yeah.
Why? The man is telling you you got an option.
My man, the only thing we get for that whole thing, for the whole meeting, the 3 days, that for all the 10 deportees.
My man, where you coming from when they are taking deportee business, my man?
Oh, and we here?
You see, the Zogo,
All right. Yeah, so Steve, I'm back.
They say,
we talk about deportee.
they say, la brother dumper.
Let's pray against that.
I beg you, don't bring that food to me. Me, you on prayer, baby. You not see me on. You don't. I beg you. You can pray, me, but don't pray. I saw.
Let's pray against deportee going to our country.
No. There are some things that you don't pray against because one says something. One said that somebody. Yeah. No, I come. Don't just say Dico. One said somebody have some benefit. But my question out to Mong is that all of the resources that we've been having, there are no benefit. So that so more I want to know what that human transaction that it will take us for
my man. The recolonization. Let me tell you something. The recolonization. Let me ask you the question. Let me ask you the question. Let me just ask you the question quickly. Then we can move on to the conversation. Let me ask you the question.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
How the original intent of forming Liberia before 1847, what was it? And that is, what was it? What was it? The original intent according to our history, what was it, Masale?
By taking the slave bike.
By taking who?
the slave bike.
Okay, very good. Maybe what you say, you agree with Masale?
Yeah, you've been taking deportee forever since your inception. And
exactly. Guess what? In the 21st century, instead of them using the word slave, they are using the word deportee. So they modify it. You're coming here now, Joseph Jingin Rabo.
For me, I have the follow-up question to all of you. Send you people on aside. Let's be frank, our people, they are listening, and I want them to be educated to all of these things. So here is the follow-up question. Now,
let me drink water here.
Now,
people want to go to the town, you know, no first. So
me, I used to it. I don't know that thing. Ever they were giving money to Zogos. So when they come, no,
they will tell you land.
They will take our job. Now one part they will take the job because most of them, they already qualify. Good. Some of them good. Some of them, in fact, some of them, in fact, they will become representative. So another one good. So here's the question. Because the president said that there are no gun, at their neck, and in fact, they're not forcing them. He keeps saying that. For me, I'm happy with that. But Steve, let's be frank, or Mark and then brother Aliu, with this call, just only 5 African countries say, yeah, you'll come so that we can negotiate. Even when they say no to this thing, what's going to happen next? Because for me, that's my fear. I know very well that for the countries to just say no, it'll be difficult. So that's my fear when they say no.
I don't know because there are a lot of countries that are saying no now. There are a lot of countries that are playing by a different set of rules. The only difference is countries are not playing games, unlike our country. Because the last time I checked, I think Kenya, they signed a pact and they refused certain offer. Ghana was the most recent one. Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, these countries are saying no to their colonial master. They are picking a side. The only thing with Joseph Boaga, I just want him to be clear when it comes to this whole thing with the Liberian people and tell where he stands. There are some economic benefit as well, because one thing people don't understand, apart from deportation, there are people who take in asylum seekers. Ghana been doing it forever. Even the land that a refugee camp in Ghana will pay for to city family. The American government will give you incentive for that. whether it was Guinea, whether it was Africa, the biggest player now is Rwanda because they believe Rwanda got a economic and infrastructure viability. So Rwanda just walk away with $300 million package wherein people filing for asylum could go get a job, reside in Rwanda until they can transition to either London or Norway or any other country. So it's optional for Joseph Boakai. My only thing is, like I said, is the details. They say the devil is in the details. He has an option because according to Donald Trump's own foreign policy, I think he will be the easiest president to say no to based on his own policy because he against regime change and intervention. So if he's telling you now, we are no longer about aid, but trade, meaning I give you an option, then if I was in Joseph Boakai position, I can just look at Donald Trump and say, you know what, this one, I'm not for it. And that's optional. That's why I make it optional. But the problem with this president and his team, they keep lying and their lies will always catch up with them. And they cannot be firm on any major issue. Everything cannot always be politics. In a more than politics, they want to leave the show. Sometimes you just got to make a tough decision and step and keep moving on. And the president, unfortunately, he cannot do it. And matter of fact, it seems like you don't come to the White House and try to play a game with America strategic interest or business interest. That's, and Steve said it right, that's the fear here. I could care less about the English, his oratory skill, his presentation skill, whether he's making an elevator pitch at his business. At the end of the day, Papi, you cross the line, man. You know the repercussion, man. Nobody got to tell you. You know history. You've been in the game for long, almost 40 to 50 years. So nobody can tell you what's up. Just be clear. You're an older man, and people believe you. They say you got the experience. Your decision making is up there. You are better than we are in this. Just know the game that you are playing. That's what I'm saying. So I think on Sktv, we are even telling the president to be more cautious than even trying to be an anti-Joseph Boakai. That's how I see it. Yeah.
Ali, you won't go before I go? Because me, I won't be the last.
Yeah, for me, that's all. Mon just said everything. That's the option is with Joseph Boakai. Let him just be straight up instead of playing game. Because when he play game, the consequences are with him. That's all. Let him just come out straight up and hit the nail, the hammer on the nail.
First of all, Liberia does not have the capacity, the infrastructure, the ability to even engage in this conversation is bigger than us. The monk said the countries that are even opening their doors or welcoming you kind of thing, they have the ability, the capacity, the infrastructure, the security means, and all the different things are in place. Rwanda is far ahead of us. Or Kenya, or whatever that's hosting these people. They are far ahead of us. You take your whole labor ministry, turn it over to foreigner. And they can't bring deportee. You will not get women in that time. You will not get food in that time. You will not get house in that time. You will not get, somebody else say, yo, I don't know where you have to move to a different country. I'm telling you it. But Le Monde said Joseph Boakai does not have the balls to tell Donald Trump no. What I can see for them, everything I gain and what they can get. So they will try to ride out and try to sugarcoat it and suck up. And yeah, Joseph Boakai, I think he older than Trump. He calling him sir.
Somebody says a cultural country. I said no cultural international relations. It doesn't work.
Oh, yeah, culture. Donald Trump believe in what culture? Donald Trump culture. Donald Trump know that culture, man. Donald Trump who can say it well and use the F word. Donald Trump know that culture of man. Donald Trump not part of that your political correctness thing. Donald Trump not part of that your cultural thing. Imagine Joseph Boakai older than Donald Trump, but you calling him sir. Okay, send that the issue now. Then when Joseph Boakai talking to someone, you might call sir. I mean, you see it? You're a serious-minded group of people. Instead of telling Joseph Boakai to muster the courage and say, we're not going to stay for this, you're passing around making excuses around it. But like Masale said and Monk said, I want to put my voice to it. That's what Monk talking about, Donald Trump's foreign policy say, and now about removing regime or whatever. They lead that story, my brother. Lead that story. If anybody staying in the way of America's interest, you will be removed.
That's the point.
America might not come directly, but they will use adversaries, third parties, or whatever. What are you talking? What are you really talking? Go ask Doe. Go ask Tobo. Go ask O'Born. Go ask Chattanooga. Chattanooga is still alive. Go ask him. Ain't you misbehaving? Ain't Chato could speak BB Bobby talking about your food in there on the radio. Ain't Chato is be talking crap. That I can suck up to America and Washington can pick up the phone and Washington can pick up the phone.
Yeah, like you said, the greatest message ever been here live.
Yeah, you understand yourself. You first scared. You really first scared. Yeah. So I'm saying it here on the show. Joe Ball, I let it watch Joseph Boaga going. Let him bring a crooked, criminally minded behavior. At the right place he bringing it. That the right place he bringing it. That the right place he bringing it. He will understand himself.
But let me tell you, Steve, what you just said, right? No, let me just end my thought and you take over. You know the funny thing about the whole thing about whether it's deportee or asylees or asylum seeker, if we call them that way. Our own Liberian that left the country, our LRRC, they can't even get in the majority under 150 they promised them.
Yeah.
Yes, they can't even get.
I say, if you bring a deportee them and you bring that food in there to the no better bank grandma in that town.
Is there a security threat?
It's a serious security threat. Not only national security, international. You know what I mean? For you to tell them men who been in prison for a long time, who don't cause trouble, who don't give a damn, who on drugs and other things. You think that your funny little drug where you get whatever zombie people that you get into that they kind of clap and they be turning around. I talk about hardcore criminals.
Yep.
These guys don't play games. No, these guys don't play games. I'm telling you it. These guys are dangerous group of people. You don't fool around with them. You don't mess around. And you go there, they get you $50 to get to them. Then you go to that $50 and they got to be standing in line. You think they can go whole press conference? You think they can go whole press conference? You don't ready yet. That food in that way you got going on in that country. You see nothing yet. You have not seen anything yet, Melbourne. You have not seen anything yet. And you know what? I let it roll Joseph Boaga on. Let him keep playing those little games. And he saying he can play games. I love it. I love it. Me, I want for him to play game with America. Me, I want for Joseph Boaga to fool Donald Trump. I bet Joseph Boaga let him carry. Ain't 8 years old. You understand he said. And you know what? All his supporters and the people who in Labrador, the one who quiet about this nonsense. All of y'all will feed it, and I'll come right on the scene show you again, and I will rub it in your faces like I always do it. Oh yes. Me, but I can tell you, I can remind you when you make fully decision, I can kind of remind you about your decision, your choices, and you will enjoy it. Anybody wants to say I get hard at your business, I could care less.
So the visitation, everything is just about bringing people back.
Only that team, man, they won't get your free slaves again back. Leave that story back. That the whole level there. That the whole that visitation thing what they were hyping your brother that ate there. Let me tell you something. Don't waste your time. They want for you to bring deportees.
You see somebody say, Peter Stewart. You see, you're not bring a trouble at all. We'll stand out big. You're not bring people.
But I said trouble coming for us. What coming way up there for again?
But the country can pass a budget that will be inclusive of Liberian that left the country, the repatriation, LRRC.
When you have me budget short for, you want to do what thing? When that's not having budget short for already.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Imagine you guys explain to someone. You guys explain to someone a man who high on something, trying to explain to him that you get budget short for. They short for so that you more your You crazy. You know how crap your guy going on in that country that everybody can take it from you. They got people who get mama, brother. They're not even waiting for you to answer yourself. They will answer you before you answer yourself. So Melbourne, please open the line. And no welcome our deportees that will be coming. Oh, to the Liberian girl who not get man, who crying for man. That Google looking man, they coming.
Yeah, that's not been signed.
The way I look at it, the best thing, if President Baka will agree, let him just agree to take his Liberian then that if we see here that been causing trouble.
No,
you got choice. Let
it bring the deportee for some of our sisters there. Our sisters are messing over long.
And Melbourne, let me tell you, they wanted those deportee and asylum seekers, right? They will give you a tough time because if you're a hustler in Liberia, those men get a money stopping you, they will be having financial power, also you are trouble for the locals.
But I was saying, maybe when I see some on the 18, leave it.
I trust my president for the one part. I love it, nothing is not forced. So,
my man, leave that story.
The only thing you should stop that. The only thing
young man, Mr. Malo, on the phone before you take your first call. Let Mr. Malo chime in who can transition.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Malo, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the show. Listen, there are a couple of things I wanted to address as far as this trip. You know, let me just start with the first thing I just saw. You saw that interview with OKFM, or whoever they were being interviewed. But if somebody responded to you in that way on an issue that you and them have, what would you say? I would say the person is blabbing. The person is lying. The person is not saying the truth. Because they're exaggerating. It is not focused. They're just putting everything in the pot, you know. And that's what Joseph Walker was doing. What he has decided to do is to do exactly what Donald Trump is asking. Look, there were 16 countries approached to come to this, more than 16 countries, more than 5 countries that were approached. 16 of them refused because they told them the agenda before they came.
Yes, they knew it.
They told them the agenda before they came. If they came, that means that's what they wanted to do. And let me tell you something about the security risk of that. If America wants to go and arrest people and jail them, America loves living here. The cities that nobody wants to live in anymore, they're moving out. Let them go jail in those areas and keep them. Why should they send people that they arrested? It is that people taking America trash. You're refusing them. You leave your country to take them to my country. And let me tell you what happened in those 16 countries. Every time they ask, the president brought the issue to the people and the people revolted.
Yep.
And the people revolted. They said no. And that's how the president had the tenacity to say no to them. My people refuse it. They're not going to accept it. But yet, IS didn't mention nothing. He packed himself and come to consider. And let me tell you the difference between Scott, this sir, and telling somebody, yes, sir. Sir is a form of respect to somebody whose name you don't know or want to pronounce. But also, it's a subordinate. Put yourself in to the person spoken to. So then tell somebody, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Already have sold your soul to that person. And if it's in a business transaction that you address your counterpart by yes, sir, deal with me. Did you hear the people then talking about how the President Donald Trump, how he was doing Nobel Peace Prize? I said these guys got their head so deep inside Donald Trump, whatever, that you need to get into people to take it off from their teeth. I mean, you can't hear a Nobel Peace Prize. Are you the one who choose people who got Nobel Peace Prize? You know, but that's what they did. So the whole group that came, they already agreed to sell their country's security. And if the administration changed, and the new administration will not deal with them, what are you going to do?
Mr. Marlo.
All right, so, okay, thanks for the point. Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Marlo.
We got to be very, very, very extremely, and I think the Liberian people need to stand up.
Thank you, Mr. Marlo. Hopefully you can join us, Mr. Marlo. Look, Mom, can you please say? Hopefully you can join us.
All right. I think you'll join us later. We'll switch now. Thanks for the time, Mr. Marlo. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Melbourne.
Yeah. Anytime, Mr. Marlo, when you're ready, just let us know so that you can join us someday at least.
Yeah, but quickly before you go to the line, what it not easy. You're trying talking. We'll try, but tomorrow.
Yes.
The noise in the house. I said I meet that wake up too.
Exactly. It's not easy though. The noise up and down. But we'll look at that also tomorrow. You're right. 0770-203-125. That's the number to call. Today's caller. Good evening, David Kim.
Good evening, my brother Bimo.
Yes, my dear brother. Go ahead.
The Chinese are in town.
Chinese again? From where?
Yeah, they came for the second phase of the survey that Joseph Boga talked about. That we already they came based upon the request of the vice president when he went to China of recent. So they came to do the geographical survey of our mineral that Mr. Bwaka asked the American to come and do similar thing. So you see the trouble that coming. So Joseph Bwaka inviting everybody, and you know China and America would not eat on the same table. You know that for a fact. Now you inviting the Chinese. They came here first. They did the first survey. They left. They went to America, even though you spoke good English according to your supporters. But then the Chinese have come now to do the second phase of the survey that you asked Donald Trump to come and do. So where are we in this thing here? I told somebody, I said, it is not about English, all right? Joseph Bwaka, Donald Trump being hypocritical with Joseph Bwaka, but Joseph Bwaka did not understand Trump, so they supported themselves here. They didn't understand him, and they all are on Facebook, on various radio station, saying, oh, the Papi eloquent. That eloquent will eat, okay? Like they used to say that rule will eat, that eloquent will eat. How can that put food on the hungry woman or the hungry man table for he and his children, or for she and her children? This guy got to be serious. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Keep. Because come 0770203125. That's the number for you to call this evening to be part of the SKTV show. Sorry that have been faced with little challenges, but then we have to move that line. 0770203125. Placing your calls this evening to be part of the SKTV show and make your own point on the issue that we're discussing here. Maybe you have your own advice also to give to our government, or better say to the president of the Republic of Liberia, because it's not easy to this call. Uncle Brantate, good evening.
Yeah, how you doing?
We are great, thank God.
And let's say kudos to your panelists, T, Mom, and Cherie. You know, let me thank them so much. You know, it's good sometimes they share this kind of information. Sometimes fun come with it. You know, it's like why or more say like I know neo-colonialism, but they give it new name.
Oh yes.
So the bandy investment will go for in the states. You know, you send people, then you make deal. So the deal there is maybe with 300 million. That 300 million boss your head, but right this thing we're talking, these guys then they work with pistols. They don't give a damn for anybody, they can kill anytime. So tomorrow when you see people dying all over, they like the investment the American trying to bring to us. So the women gotta be careful. Yeah, you gotta be very, very careful. We already have Burkina Faso in this country here, they all were taking over this country. But it's something they even going to the north. Then we go to the west. So then we sit down, then bandits, then come again, uncontrollable bandits. The people America can control that. We want to control them.
I like that. That's a good point.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. The people that are able to control, that have all of the security and so forth, but it's sending them to you. Hello, to this caller. Good evening.
Good evening to you, Mabel.
Yes, my brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, and good evening to your panelists. My name is Hussein. I'm Hussein Care. I Jacob's Foundation number 2. I listen to the different talking points. So let me say this. I have a takeaway from the president interaction with the US president. In fact, it should serve as a motivation to we parents that we should send our children to good schools and so they can learn and be better leader by our country. In fact, the president interaction have created, a research in the world. People around the world want to know who this president they're talking about that is so eloquent, right? That he serves very well, sitting with the world president, Donald Trump. I think we educators have to appreciate president. Now, people say, what will it bring on your table? So after these interactions, then I close door interactions with the president, with investors, and with the president of the US. So I told somebody.
Hello, and go to the latest now about the deportation. Why you want to jump over that one? Your president just stated that.
Somebody is suggesting the president being there is about this deportation.
No, yes.
Talk, right?
Yes,
so,
exactly.
So, can I go ahead, people?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so it is a good thing, right, that the president will make the case of the Liberian people in that light. In fact, President Baka need not to appeal to anybody or anymore to have an audience, because in a very sooner time he will be chairing one of those Security Council meetings, and those other leaders around the world will sit on his table as chairperson on the Security Council. It's not an applause for our country; it is applause, right? So I don't criticize those things whenever it happens. But I'm proud.
All right, thank you. I know you want to be dodging the deportation team. Yeah, man. Today's caller, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, neighbor.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much for your show, neighbor. I heard that you come here and you are calling for you that market. Let us say, neighbor, you see, neighbor, are you getting me?
We get you, my brother. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Neighbor, you see, in this country, sometimes when our leaders go out, when they're having confrontation, when another president has to say something about them, neighbor, we need to be very careful. We shouldn't just look at it on the surface and be running with it and consider it a happiness. The manner in which Donald Trump asked President Baka where he went to school, neighbor, I still have a problem with it. I continue to ask myself, at what point of the conversation did the man ask Baka where he went to school? Also that some people get tired, people when they see mistake in you, when they see something that is not satisfied with, they get tired to your educational background, where you went to school, to disgrace you. All the people that went there, he never asked them where they went to school. But
maybe the men were asking. Maybe the men were asking because he thinking that maybe the men from the U.S. too, or maybe the men been trained by the maybe by the U.S.
Yeah, neighbor, that thing is very disrespectful. All the people that went there, who the fuck the man asked where he went to school. And Baka did not have it. Who said yes, sir? Is it Liberia? He said yes, sir.
Okay, so let's go to the deportation or the deportees and so forth.
That's deportee issues. No guy that is talking about deporting. They are being a miracle. What contribution they made to the that somebody will accept them to be? Are they Liberian? Are they still Liberian? Are coming by?
I don't know, my brother, myself. I don't know. I don't know who they are coming. All right, thank you. But you don't even know that before you will be. I don't know if you want to call your one. So let's call up, please. 1 minute. Hello, good evening. Yes, go ahead quickly, my brother. I don't want to take more calls.
I know you're coming up. I know very well. Because you guys, every evening you're putting registration on.
Hello, today's caller, good evening.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm having Johnson calling for tomorrow. You see, this president, sometimes when Israel happen, they are hoping for the Liberian people to dare it and understand it. Nobody fools the president and say, oh, the people want to go to your country for you to manage them. He is so okay what the American people call me for, that for them to give me people to come keep in Liberia. So the Liberian are here, like we get there here, we not even manage them. Then you go sit down with one president for you to receive people to come keep in our country, what food they higher, express up, everything scatter.
The people will give you money. They will send money behind it. They will send money behind the people.
If they are sending money, they will send that money ever since. But to say that the president will suffer the country. That's why you see him going in America to do all kinds of things. I know when he said to ASL man to be doing yes, sir. President don't say yes, sir to the friend president. President call the friend by title, Mr. President. They know that you're speaking. But your friend can be calling you Mr. President and you be calling a yes, sir. So that thing you are asking to say, I know, what kind of president you get also?
All right, thank you. Keep a call scam is 0770203125. That's the number for you to call this evening and be part of the SKTV show. Yes, indeed, we just talk about a few things, and I know most of the talking points go straight to the issue of deportation. Yes. So our president, one of the callers said, our president said, have interview with Front Page Africa, and he said, yes, indeed. The reason why they were called on was to discuss the issue of deportations and people who are seeking asylum, or yeah. So this caller, hello, good evening. Hello. Yes, my brother, go ahead.
Even to the Sktv family, I want to say hello to the Liberian people.
Mm-hmm.
And my name is GT Tubawoid. I'm calling from Canada. And I just wanted to share one or two things on this. So what we're seeing now is that President Baga disgraced Liberia on the world stage.
How?
We're seeing that. President Baga went over there with no plan. It was very simple. After the Senegal president spoke and all the other presidents spoke French and they had interpreter, President Baga spoke and Donald Trump understood President Baga. After the President Baga was asked simple question, where you learn how to speak English or where you go to school to speak English, Senegal president already made the thing easy there. He said from Florida to Senegal is 6 hours. President Baga should get out there and say, look, Liberia, yes, I learn English from Liberia. You should come and visit Liberia. From Senegal to Liberia, like 1 hour, 49 minutes. Simple as that. You could connect it. To me, that you have to do it. Come and visit Liberia. Come and listen to more youth speaking beautiful English. You know, Liberia, our way of talking is unique. You can put 1 million people in one room. As someone Liberian open a mother talk, we can identify when they say that Liberian man. How about our star? So not anything for be passing around maybe to doing. Let's go back to the people that try to bring the country. We need to be careful. This is national security interest. President Baga, whole plan to that America is that Mr. Trump is trying to get rid of hard-working people in our country. Some of them which are criminal, and some of them all kinds of different characteristics. But he's just trying to find a way and dump them. The same way they did in 1822 and 1847. So only doing it in a different form right now. Our people fighting to go to America, then they're trying to bring people back on the other side and just pollute the whole society, a whole lot of things. If the Americans were creating jobs for the people were coming as an investor or something, then there's a different reason. But they are all coming as criminal and America don't even want them. What we're going to do with them? My Liberian people, to the upcoming protests, we encourage you. Stand up for your right. Stand up for the truth. I keep telling you, if you're in Liberia, if you are sick and tired of corrupt government officials, if you know that your children are not getting the education that they deserve, and you know that you are not safe to walk in the street at night, and if you cannot afford higher taxes, then you should go up. Make transparency. Know the truth about what happened in that fire.
All right. Thank you.
The truth, Liberian people.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me go to the other line. Hello. Yeah. Charles Cooper, good evening. Yeah, go ahead, man. But people move away from the monitor, man. You know that. I don't know how to tell you.
Yeah. Sorry for that.
Yeah. So hold on quickly. 30 seconds. Sleeping low for that video, man. When the president said I have a message for you people. I don't know. You can stay for that video. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Charles Cooper. I want to
Yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say thank you again to the panelists. But like I have always said, maybe slavery has never ended in Liberia. Let me tell you, slavery was only transformed or modified. But we are still suffering from this same master mentality, what I call mentality syndrome. We always want to depend on America for everything. This is why after 177 years, we're going to be 178 years by July 26, we are still blaming America for our problems. So slavery, America has always been looking for a place to send us. So the issue of deportation is not only string. I mean, Donald Trump is teaching African leaders an essential lesson. But maybe most of our leaders, they just feel that only learning how to read and write doesn't mean you are educated. Most of our African leaders have failed to learn a serious lesson. Because we have all of the riches in Africa, the Western powers, they depend on us. Our natural resources, they depend on for these things. But maybe we are not being able to transform that slave mentality to a mentality that will transform our own lives in Africa. We have had great potential. We are smart people. We can speak good English. But it is not good English that develops a nation, maybe. It is good works or hard works.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Charles Cooper, to this. Good evening. Yeah, quickly go ahead.
No, but hold on, a lot person.
Yes.
Because you see, the American people, they are very smart when you kind of thing. They always let us give people bad things for good things. The list of Imaya Bro, he was information minister, I say Imaya Bro, he told me, did I forget the study story, maybe I can share the number. The story about how the government hospital in Bitana came about. Instead of American, they had started talking wasting America, they were looking for people to dominate. The country that was going to allow them to dominate all the side of the sea, they will build a hospital. Instead of having Bitana hospital came about, they brought out something wasting and wasting all like drugs or sea. They had to build a hospital.
All right, thank you, my young man. Now, the development the day you ready to just come. Yes, I think Steve. I was talking about the video. I think the president said I have message. I think for
tomorrow we'll play that. Tomorrow we'll play that Melbourne because of time, please.
Yeah. Well, anyway, go ahead.
Aliu, let me hear from you quickly. You've heard some of the callers, so we can go.
Ali, you are muted.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, thanks to the callers for participating on the show. Maybe you said something I was just about to correct you when we went to the call segment. And you was talking for you, one President Baka say they tie anybody, they put it gun to people through. So for that one, you believe in. Hey, Joseph Baka is a diabolical liar. He deceptive and he dishonest. The only thing you should listen to Baka when he tell you say, my man, a woman, my pala, man, the way that people can say, don't fall for that thing. This government, they will do everything. They are looking for money, their budget short for anything. Like you listen to Mr. Maulo, what he said. You know how many other countries refused to come because they told them why they were coming for. So Joseph Baka know why he here for. So the only thing I will tell him, the whole issue about deportees and what have you, Joseph Baka, if you want to accept deportee, kindly talk to President Trump. Those Liberians who have committed crime, they in jail and what have you in the country, you can take your own citizen back. But the Zogo necessary we get in Liberia, we able to control them. Then you can take people for different backgrounds, you take them to that country. You think you able to manage them? And somebody talking about Joseph Baka sitting on National Security Council. You can even maintain the security in your country. You go even to sit on Security Council to do what? So you shouldn't be talking this kind of thing. Look at your security in your country today. Every day people die. You can't even pay your own security them. Then you come into, for me, let you try to come straight out to the point. But if you think you coming to play double game with America, we pray for our country because the consequences will be too heavy for the country. And Joseph Baka get nothing to lose. He has stolen enough money. He continue to steal. He can go stay down Sierra Leone and the country will suffer it. So far, so good. That's it. God bless America. God bless Liberia till we see you again. Thank you.
Thank you. Mon, what's up?
Well, nothing much. It's just the same stuff. It's up to the president to make the choice. That's why he was elected. When they went to the polls, they never elected Steve Boley or Mong or Melbourne. They elected Joseph Baka. That's why he's the leader, and he's the one that called the shot. The one thing I want to tell the president, Mr. President, you are giving an option. Sending deportees to third-party country is nothing new. Matter of fact, the Obama administration was sued in America by the ACLU in 2009 because he's the only president in the history of America that set deportation records. But they got something they call expedite removal because before you get deported, it's a federal judge that will come out with that decision. The president judge is only remove you when the judge said you should be deported. But there are certain hardcore criminals that the countries of origin want to play hardball and play the bureaucracy that will not accept them. And in that case, the American government will ship it to a third party because they want to get it out of this country as quickly as possible. In America, when it comes to immigration, it doesn't go by party. It's a bipartisan issue. So it's not about which president. The same trend will continue. Bush did it. Obama did it. It's nothing new. The president is given an option. Matter of fact, in 2009, when Obama presented the option, Panama took it, Costa Rica took it, Puerto Rico took it. They are poor country. They believe that if we can get 75 million from America just to host few individuals, okay, yeah, there are some security risks, but we will take the money. Maybe that's why Joseph Baka is contemplating, but there is now a new process. The only difference in America and the politics and the media, they will make it look like, hey, Donald Trump is a bad guy. You want to take it to a third-party country? No. People being shipped to third-party country forever in America when it comes to immigration and deportation. Countries have been doing it. It's up to Joseph Baka. It's a choice thing. If he believes that the incentives very lucrative and good for Liberia, it's up to him. I'm not the president, but he is given the option to make a choice. Now, On the issue of the mineral right deal, it's up to him. You just cannot play ball with global power, because at the end of the day, when they step on you, you will become the victim. So I just hope you know exactly what you're doing when it comes to trade and economic partnership. But the issue of immigration, that one is an option. Senegal got the same option. Liberia has the same option. You can do whatever you want to do. It's up to you. But Steve, I turn it over to you. Nothing new.
Well, folks, tomorrow we'll be here. Tomorrow we'll talk about Yan Twain and taking hard stand from the Makande. I said, that will be here tomorrow. We'll talk about it too. Listen, don't be carried away. Joseph Boakai is on a joking joke. Don't be carried away. I'm saying it to you. Don't be carried away. Joseph Boakai is not serious. The crew that he got is not serious. But I really hope that he'll play games with America. Oh, I really hope. I'm praying for that. I'm praying for that. On the other hand, nobody can get there. They can protest. They can say what they want to say. We'll take our deported. The men will kind of issue on you in the country. No men. Look, Mom, I think I will side with you. Let me tell the deportees. Let me tell the men. They're not bringing women. Oh, that men and they bring in. So
this guy is crazy.
I bring sister will cry on the cold. We get cold, but as it comes here.
You get some Panamanian, you get some men from El Salvador, Guatemala.
Yeah. We get a minute coming. So you just hold your heart. Your prayer that you've been praying long time, going fasting for men, causing men.
Very soon when I miss Korokambano, you know me, it's very kind to say like will be like,
my man.
We'll be
it is the recolonization of
we'll be having miss Korokambano, we'll be having too much of Chinese.
I didn't Joseph Baga knew why they were coming to Joseph Baga knew why they were coming here. He knew. Joseph Baga knew. Joseph Baga knew ahead of time why they were coming here. Other African nations and states.
Oh yeah, they
refused. So they knew.
Now
they knew
now I'm getting most of that information that indeed they are aware.
My man, they told me what I'm coming.
All of these things.
Like I said, our sister who been praying for men, y'all lead the pastor there alone. You're praying. I said the only thing I want you to see you're doing now, I want for you to be giving testimony when you go to church.
So men, Steve, men come, no job. So we're gonna feed them.
The women will feed them. Who taking care of you in a brother with me?
I was sister they will feed you. You do well.
My man, my skin color. Let me tell you something. My skin color is an advantage.
You tell me maybe they will take them for some time, but they will not take them.
My man, my skin color advantage. You not see yellow men suffer. Actually, I hear the black, I hear the dark skin men suffer.
No,
we the yellow machine we don't suffer, brother. Our enjoyment too much. So it may invest that bleaching.
They were taken from the government official. They book it to
your man.
They like
your minister they come be very tired of fail to them because they feel like I'm issue on there. So folks are there.
Yeah, some people will go home. Let me say thanks to all of you, our followers, our listeners. Indeed, thanks to each and every one of you for your participation. Those of you that call in also. Indeed, that's the best thing to do. We all will pray for better. We all will pray. But for me, I don't really see anything like some of our leaders to be running after, because even for the president and his delegate to even go on a trip, I think there have been a lot of negotiation. We've been here. Oh yeah, people are negotiating. To even negotiate, you got to spend money. All the money that you're spending back, they're just to get, you just to go and speak to one leader. For me, I just see all this is a complete waste of time. Develop the life of your people. That's all. The money is here for you to do all of these things. So all the time you're wasting, lobbying here and there, for people to come to you, for you to have interaction with people, so that you and Donald Trump can talk. Now waste of time. You may be frank. Now waste of our time and energy. But again, thanks to you all. On tomorrow, Mark, like you said, I think let the people come so that maybe even if 500 million or 300 million will be able to get, I need to get that one. But we don't know where the money will go. Like the only thing. Even if that $1 million a year, even if that billion, you won't know where the money will go. But thank you so much, Mark, and good night to all of you. We are about to go home now. Yeah, good night to all of you. I'm John C. Maben Kula.
So you stole 1 minute from us today. That's it. But anyway, that's it. Go ahead, bro. Take care, man. It was a nice show. We do it again some other time, another day, in the books.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We searching for podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who willing to serve. Blessing that time and that effort are rest. The brothers giving us here and the promise of them. The work of my life without fear.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Play body so make you again Sktv benyo. Say my journey tina get I say my jamu. And you no money. Emu aye yo. And you love emu aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I delay ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I delay ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I forget now ya to money. That's the baby, and I forget it now. Cause you work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We searching for podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to serve. The flesh, that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather, Nima to Lufa. From Riverside, River G to Chile. From Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, San to Bacalu. From Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.